more sort of quiet time when I do these things, sort of where I go. So anyway, and it's just nice to be out in nature and show you my surroundings. However, it's probably not as peaceful as when I'm by the water. However, getting right into the read. So I did some card fell out sort of randomly here. So I'm almost getting the feeling that there's sort of, I will do some advice cards here as well, but it's something around kind of that feeling of the art of war. And the reason why I say that is it's kind of the dance of life here. Like I'm seeing some very good cards, of course, and I'm going to be trying a different deck, which I'm not overly familiar with. So if I book, just, go with it. But this one is called the Star Codes Astro Oracle, Heather Rowan Robbins. So the fact that, I'll get into the tarot portion of it here in a little bit, but what I'm seeing here right off is that we are starting out with 8th house. Sorry guys, I have a lot of overhead. I'm not at the airport, but clearly you'd think I was. So what I'm getting here is that we are, okay, the 8th house with this element of mystery, it's kind of coming out here as well, even with the tarot, the same sort of element. So there is a hidden element here. There's something that's not quite realized or not quite ready to be revealed. You could also be coming off with a certain aloof sort of quality, but I think this is more along a mystery. And the reason why is just because of some of the other surrounding cards that follow in terms of the tarot. So now this card in particular, as I said, does sort of speak to, anything around that we consider. So this again could be in around, the areas of our life that deal with money or that deal with personal, aspects. Obviously, relationships fall into that, but it's how things are basically forming us, but it's on from a quieter space. So there's a lot kind of going on underneath the surface that's not really being revealed here in the month of August to September. So I feel like you're kind of in a space here where you're sort of assessing, what's important in terms of those areas of your life that you are extremely private about, because there's something here where, maybe your needs aren't met in a particular way, but there's something here about possibly somebody holding back. There could be an element of conflict around a relationship here as well. Sorry, but it sort of speaks to, as I said, getting clear in your own mind what you need to sort of deal with that you're not outwardly, outwardly, I don't want to say dealing with again here, but I mean outwardly speaking to anybody else about. I mean, it does have elements of seduction. It does have elements of finance, like I said. So this could be maybe both areas that are affected here as well. But there's something here about you not quite sure what to do in terms of your resources and possibly romantic situation. But I just want you to know that the reading does actually bode well in both of those areas, but I'm not saying it's an immediate resolve. It looks like there is some challenges here. I feel like you're looking for something to kind of liberate you in some way in this situation, because it could be that you feel a little bit like somebody's playing a certain sense. Now, there is an element here of Gemini also prevalent. So again, for some of you, it could be somebody who has qualities of Gemini or, basically is the Gemini. But because it's sort of followed in line with the element of mystery, it really just feels like someone's getting on your nerves as well. I feel like this is where there's a lot of, you also have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of ideas, but I still keep getting relationship issue with these cards. So it kind of feels like, more specifically, I'm going to kind of redirect it that way, because it just keeps feeling like it's a little bit more on the relation, or at least these particular cards are coming through that way to me. So I would say that it's like something possibly, again, doesn't have to be a Gemini, but something in terms of a relationship. There's something here about building a network or forms of communication, and it feels like something emotional is tense here. Like I said, there's something about lines of communication being blocked. So I feel like you almost need to gather more information, gather more resources up to be able to deal with this situation. It's something like that, and maybe possibly even expanding this in terms of social media. So this could be dealing with some that, it doesn't have to be specifically relationship. As I said, it just is feeling that way more so for whoever this would resonate for. But it is a general read, and your timelines are all going to be different. So you don't all, answer a question, in a week and of major magnitude, you know what I mean? So, and something that's life changing doesn't take a couple of days to sort of resolve. So keep that in mind. But what I'm going to say here is there's just something about getting the word out or talking to people. People, something about siblings here as well, but there's also something about getting, finding more true equals, like something around what it is that you're doing requires getting something on the table, really taking a look at it, really looking at it in depth, trusting in a friend, communicating something in a more effective way, expressing yourself here because it's like something is really eating you out, I would say. And I feel like it's just kind of scattering into other areas of your life. So something like that could be relevant here. But as I said, the situation seems to be a little bit complex, and that's why you kind of have to sort of dig into the situation to really get a better understanding of what you're dealing with. Now, the gift of, according to the cards, basically, the gift of a Gemini would be um, very reminiscent of sibling. And there is a lot of cards very strongly rooted around things or people of the past here as well. It doesn't have to be specifically sibling, but it can be people of the past that you consider to be family. But either there's something about that togetherness and finding your way back into a certain level of equilibrium. But again, I can't help but feel there's unexpressed feelings here. And it just feels like, you're not really dealing with something. Now, the 3-3 is still about creativity and those kinds of things sort of expanding. So, South Node here is also in that same realm of dealing with things from dealing with things from that standpoint of, putting your skills into good use, being productive with your time, dealing with unfinished business, really wrapping things up. And it's about putting that, whatever you had areas of tension around, it's sort of dealing with those things. So, again, I would say that's where you are at this time. Really having to deal with something that has really been as well. Sorry, the action to this as well would be something in around karmic patterns possibly, but either way, your skills to something and look at an old problem in a certain way and able to heal it. So there's something here that's kind of a bit of a wound that just keeps echoing through. And again, maybe this is an old love or something like that, or maybe somebody has returned into your life that is, or something has returned into your life that's causing a little bit of discomfort or reminiscent of an old chapter that you weren't, feeling good about. But it's something like that, and it's a little bit of a trigger energy, what I would say there. But again, a lot of the cards following this are quite positive. So don't feel that this is just kind of reminiscent or representative of where things are at. It's, as I said, it's just like something that is being brought to your attention. There's maybe a little bit unexpected, and an old pattern has arisen here. And it's about a message, to stay focused, to create this healthy future that you still desire. So right now, I feel the challenge is that you're under a little bit of, you may fall back on familiar defenses here to sort of, you're reliving something in terms of, an old pattern with a relationship or a flashback of some sort, but it feels like somebody might have come back here. Something has re-arisen either way, and it's about healing the triggers of the past. So when we get to, there's lots of cards of expansion here and lots of cards of growth. So again, this is September to October. So the card of Sagittarius also speaks to the same sort of energy here of expanding. So, I mean, there could be a certain level of restlessness that's coming up here. You have a real curiosity to get out and change something here in your life. The fact that this is half human, half mentor, kind of talks about sort of the areas of ourself that are a little more wild versus those that are a little more tamed. So there's something here about wanting to move ahead. I do see something about November, December being quite relevant here. So there might be something up ahead here that is in that time frame. that might be advantageous to you, but really the card really speaks to in terms of action, speak your truth. Again, be a little more flexible, continue to be curious, because there's something about exploring a larger philosophical front, and as well, kind of seeing things from a different metaphysical sort of point of view here as well. So again, there's something here about you kind of taking a look at something from a higher perspective, separating yourself a little bit with some distance from the equation. And, instead of diving deep in crises mode, it's stand back from it and kind of change your life, from that standpoint, right? Like, and hi there, Richard. So again, it's, say the things that are important to you. It's okay to communicate here with a certain level of, emperor, right? Like sort of energy, being much more in control of what you're saying, but, saying it in such a way that I want to also say with that card, because the thing is the card comes up and sort of speaks about, how do I say that? Something is coming across as very comfortable and confident and competent, but in actual fact, it's almost like there's a bit of an untruth there. So there's something here about something needs to be communicated, something needs to be discussed, spoken about. And just because you see it, it doesn't mean they have to say it, because what I'm saying is timing and pacing, all of those things come into play with this particular card. So it's be honest, but don't be mean. You know what I mean? Is what that card comes through with. So again, it's still something here about relationships very strongly correlated with this card. And it definitely still speaks to things that you're connected to that are very important at this point. I'm going to say there's something here really strongly around, waiting for the right time to have that conversation. So we'll tweak this as we go through. As I said, as we go through, things change a little bit here. Now, again, this is all about relationship energy. Two equals sort of relating on the same level, but there's intensity and there's a certain level of intimacy, but it's about how you interact with this other person. So again, some of you, this could be a business partner. Others, this is a marriage, legal issue, anything along that line. But it's about nurture that relationship rather than test them. So, consider the partnership as a tree you plant is what the card basically says to. So it's about the, what do you call it? Reference of the card would speak to, you've got a tree house and you want to build a tree house in a tree that's not equipped to handle the tree house that you're trying to build. So instead of crushing it with expectations, you're going to nurture it, you're going to protect it, you're going to help to build it up to the same level as you, so that you can, so in a sense, it's still a compromise, but you're building up this other situation, up this other person, so that you can kind of meet in the middle. So you're actually nurturing it to keep it safe, keeping the relationship safe. I would say that you're, as they say, nourishing the roots to a tree, that kind of thing. But, you need to make sure that tree is supportive enough that you can lean on it, and they need to be doing the same for you. But it's also, if they're kind of, how do I say, discrepancy in that relationship where one person more powerless over, to another, this is about how do you build up the other person so you're both back on equal ground again. So there's something here about bringing something to the table that gives more diversity and resiliency to that relationship, so that you both contribute equally, and then you can, sort of celebrate the differences between you. Because it feels like there's an imbalance in a relationship here. Sorry, just waiting for the plane to go overhead. Oh my gosh. I guess that's going on for every 15 minutes here. Be prepared, people. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about change. So there is some kind of a change up ahead here. Again, I'm seeing a lot still around relationship stuff here, but on the upside, it also talks about eccentricities, and everything is still pointing toward the sun. So the action is be surprised, surprise or be surprised. So, in other words, deal with something so that you are not surprised with something that you off guard. I feel like you have to try a fresh new approach or possibly a new road entirely here. Um, but even again, the reference to the card is if you were to see this as a garden, scatter the diverse seeds, water them, and then just sort of see what takes. So you may not have the exact answer to this situation, but I feel like you can weed through what didn't work later, and you can start to see what does work in the immediate. So there's a certain level of anxiety that comes through with this card here. And you have to look at what changes would actually solve the problem. So what looks like a bit of a disaster, maybe on financial or relationship front, it might be throwing you a little bit of a shock, and something of a bit of a sudden kind of change here. But just know that that chaos is important because it's acting like a catalyst to create other forms. There was something that I listened to in a video and I thought was really interesting. But when we help each other out, we are that actual bridge to the other person. Sorry, plane. But we become a bridge to another person. So whoever this support system is that you need, again, you need to throw out a few seeds, water a few of them, and see them all and see what takes, because it's almost like you don't really know what to do. But you almost have to be come from a place that's a little bit eccentric, come from a place that sort of takes them off guard here a little bit as well, because sometimes when we get familiar with something, we reject it because it's not, we already know what to expect. And Anthony Robbins makes some kind of a reference to, I listened to some of his stuff I really love. But he also talks about, sometimes when he has to break somebody from a certain pattern of thinking, he would throw out a swear word or something. I'm not saying that's the answer for everybody, but throw out something that the person is not expecting. And that will help you to sort of build or electrify a situation and make the change, sort of switch gears so that you are actually in control of the change, because otherwise somebody's going to redirect this for you. They're going to take it down their path. So that's why I say, I think it should be a negative, shocking change or something that you do, but a certain level of eccentricity is in the mix here. This is what needs to sort of take place. There's also something here about the caterpillar still becoming the butterfly. So there's something here that's kind of going through a certain level of progression and change. Sorry, guys. All right, if you can't hear me, I'm still going to just keep talking. But this one here with the card of progression does speak to moving through, time and space and this kind of thing. There was also something else which was kind of interesting. Because we are not actually solid, if you do, any kind of research around that stuff, they actually talk about how there's a lot of gaps and spaces between our atoms and our molecules and all the rest of this. So I'm not very scientific minded, and certainly it does take me some time to explain it, especially if it's new material for me. So I won't get into anything with any kind of level of background on that, because that's not really my thing. However, I do research on those things, and as I say, you will see if you go into take a look at that. We are not solid. So if we're not solid, it also is something of interest to note that it's been put out there that we are not actually, how do I put this? We have a level of not control in time and space, but it's almost like we take place in a time and space. So what I mean by that is that, they talk about molecules, always have with photons. There's a photon when you break it in half or split it in half. Whatever happens to one photon on one side happens to the other photon on the other side. So we are made up of all of these as well. And in which case, what I'm saying is when you're talking about a hologram, and I know this is going to sound convoluted, so if you can't follow, just ignore it. Just chit chat, whatever. But what I mean is they were talking about how holograms always have, every fragment of a hologram always has to have a piece of the whole, everything, because a hologram, it's like looking at, the old bookmarks where you'd see, well, even pictures where you see it sort of holographically, three-dimensional. where it looks like it's moving. You know, faces change and there's a smile versus another, or the eye starts to shift. So the interesting thing about all that is that when you have one element, so one part of ourself is sort of dealing with one period of time and space, but the other element of us that is dealing with, and you could call that a projection of self, or a second person, right? Our second self, or successful self, or whatever. But there's fragments of us in time and space, in different realms. And when you touch a certain realm in the atmosphere or whatever, and again, you can just give this as just writing material if it doesn't make any sense to you, but look it up. There is a lot of information through Greg Braden that sort of speaks to that, where we are the ability to be that half photon operating in one area, but once we actually envision where we want to be, we can operate in two different distinct areas. So we can actually draw things to us that actually work to our advantage. Anyway, off topic, but whatever. Okay, so point is, back to journey. So I feel like this is telling you something, again, karmically might be happening here. But again, don't try to make sense in the short term something, because this is almost like you're being revisited with this difficulty, and it's less to do about, kind of the day to day, and it's more about stand back, look for, an interesting way of dealing with a situation. Okay, Himmy, whatever. Like I say, I mean, I don't explain it well. I'm better writing than I am conversational, but look it up. There's something there about Greg Braden that actually speaks to that. So what I was talking about earlier. Anyway, okay, so, but like I said, journey sort of speaks to that timeline about, getting back into doing something a little bit unusual, eccentric, or whatever, that would kind of pull things in another direction. That you're not stuck in a situation where you're trying to figure somebody else out. You're kind of taking control of the reins and moving it forward. So, however that speaks to you, but it's not an obstacle. Basically, what I'm saying there. Now the fifth house, again, all of this really speaks to patterns around. Sorry, lots of noise where I am right now. Okay, so the fifth house actually speaks to self-expression, doing things creative. It's talking about performance. It's about anything that deals with investments, all of that. So it's anything that really activates that heart space and makes you feel a little bit more passionate about something, and kind of it's a driving force to kind of pull you, right? So there's something here about looking for a spark here, something of the imagination, anything that is sort of help you to feel a lot more adventurous and explore something new. So there's also, again, kind of, that card also speaks to the same sort of idea of where you have a new idea that might also arise and help you to build something around a foundation of the partnership. Because there's something here about, that courtship phase that comes through with this card. So it's actually building it on that courtship level again. It's like almost that romantic part of things or something like that. So moving on to the 12th house. And again, I'll get right into the tarot here afterward. This is a deck I generally tend to use a lot, but so again, it's going to be a little bit new for me to kind of navigate through, but the tarot, we'll just go into that here in a second. But either way, when we get to the 12th house, that is the map. That's the quiet place. That's where you start to dream the dreams. Think about your inner world and your childhood self and the things, everything that's sort of in that private space. So there's also elements here that kind of speak to taking time alone to kind of work through those areas of yourself that you're not taking care of. So it is very a creative space, very much a creative space. And it's about trying to be more individual, because it feels like there's a perspective shift that needs to happen here. There's something about maybe over identifying with a group or one think, or the way that, a society expects you to be. And it's almost like you need to have a new vision. You identify with this, and you need to have some kind of a new vision. But this is a card of, grounding yourself, basically, with that 12th house. So it's about grounding yourself again, facing your fears, and you're doing it in isolation. So when we get to Neptune, that one is all about, having the vision to know where to sort of move yourself and spiritually. And I've got Pisces here at the bottom. So, of course, you're in the reading very strongly correlated with this particular card following. But it feels like your intuition, might be blurred a little bit. And so that's why you need to focus on more of the areas, like I said, more addressing more about yourself and building on your foundation. Doing something a little bit outside the box is what I'm getting here. Because as I said, it's like the boundaries here are, you're making something easy, too easy for others to, or it's to yourself to play into the fears, something like that. Just, again, it's really about, don't be too harsh with the way, with yourself, with others, but there's something here again that seems like you're just feeling overwhelmed. There is a sense of worry around a relationship. There's a sense of, worry on some area of your life, but emotionally, it's very strongly impacting you. The card of Pisces is definitely, as I said, this is you. So I definitely feel like you're in that space of really, you are focusing yourself. There's a lot of private moments. There's a lot of, sorry. So anyway, a bit distracting. Anyway, so with the Pisces energy here, again, this does speak to the two fish, right? So when you've got the two fish, they're kind of opposing each other here, and it's almost like you need to remember the things, the thread that brought you together, or the things that, where the dream actually existed. So I still feel like there's something here about. You being you, but also, in other words, when I say you being you, what I feel is like you need to address your own individual needs on a personal level. That's going inward. That's being, facing something that's pretty complex within yourself right now. And I do feel like you also need to, in terms of a relationship, step outside that a little bit by doing things that would be, do something that's unexpected, romantic, or something there. Hi, George. And sorry, guys, I can't understand the other, but I did see, can you ask a question here? So I don't know what your name is there because I don't know how to read that. But anyway, but yes, at the very end here, but I still have to do the tarot on this one. So as I said, I feel like you just need to set some healthy boundaries on on yourself individually. So it's kind of pulling away for you to do some inner work at this time. But again, even in terms of a relationship, I feel you need to sort of rein it way back because somebody's expecting you to behave a way, act a certain way. And I think if you just sort of take it off in a new direction, and sort of throw something, maybe it's like a huge romantic thing, or maybe even in terms, if it's not a relationship, a friendship that isn't working very well, maybe this is taking it in the far extreme end of things where you're like, you know what, let's just go random camping or something. Like something has to be kind of moved off into a completely, so just to sort of break the tension there. Sorry, one sec here, guys. And of course, I will pull some cards on this too that speak to advice for you also. Okay, so let's just get right into the general read. So this one is actually speaking to more of the career, money, finance aspect, and then I'll do a little bit on that relationship part at the end here. So, okay, so this card, of course, does speak to kind of the happy ending. Something that I think that you're not really seeing is going to turn around for you. Now, the Sun card, as I said, is still in that range of, could be dealing with a child here as well, but your clarifier is that Page of Cups. But it's almost like there's a good communication or something that's going to be coming in. This is, again, for August, September. Something that's coming in here that I just feel like you're not quite, you might be anticipating, but you're just not seeing it yet. So there's something of more of a safety that's coming in here. So again, you're building a stronger alliance or connection to a younger person, that would be the case here. Or even in terms of romance, there is something here that's going to improve. I do Leo being a part of this picture here, but there's something here about an emotional movement going forward here. So there's something, again, like I said, that makes you feel like, and possibly this could be, operating around trying a holiday or something like that, or to a warmer climate. But I still feel like whatever the news is, it just seems to be emotionally a little bit more on the side of, good things coming in. There's happiness here. So there is going to be some level of fulfillment, but it's almost, again, I don't know if it's just in August, you get a little tweak of this little indicator with that Page of Cups coming in, but emotionally something is kind of moving ahead in that way. So financially, like I said, it does actually speak to something increasing. Maybe there's a bank loan or something coming through for you, or something that that you value, something that's positive in terms of your finance is going to be growing here, because it is a positive outcome. Now, it is the pages, like I said, they do communicate. There is something that's coming through here that helps you to, it's communication, however it comes through. Again, it could be, email, or um, communicated on a phone, or whatever, text, whatever. But the point is this is something that helps. There can even be a bit of an apology coming through, but usually I see the Judgment card out here and I don't quite see that one yet. But I still feel like this is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy that's relevant here. And again, could be still dealing with a younger person, but there's something that kind of gives you that feeling of childlike wonder. Everything's coming back again, where you feel emotionally more centered or grounded. There's just something along that line where things are kind of moving in an upward swing. So just know that there is, this is going to be a chance for things to awesome, basically, especially when I see the Nine of Cups here. So you are getting, again, there's intuition that comes through with that Page of Cups here as well. But again, of course, we all know the Nine of Cups is the ultimate. So there is some kind of wish fulfillment, something coming through. Sorry, guys. That kind of saves the day. So again, there is something that's giving fulfillment. This is something that you wanted to come through to help you out, not something that's unknown to you. When the Nine of Cups shows up, this is something you've already put out to the universe. So it's, you're also in that space of opening yourself up a little bit more here to life once you have this new thing that comes through here. So there is a chance as well for some of you, it's going to be a little bit different, it's just a general read. But what I am getting with the Knight of Cups is that there is some sense of contentment coming through emotionally for sure. And I feel like it's a bit of a win. It probably is more financial, but it's not showing itself in August, September specifically as financial. But there is a win around situation. So there might be something a little bit further out. Like I said, there is a Page of Pentacles following, so it is something around money as well that is coming in. But it is the clarifier, so it's not necessarily coming in August, September. Could be just shy of that. Again, you're all at different, time space here. I mean by that is, some of you are working through some of this energy, how do I put it? You're not all making a decision on a Saturday, or, a heart-wrenching, relationship issue doesn't resolve itself necessarily in hours. So that's why I say it's something along that line. Sorry, I was just reading it. I don't know what that name is. I'm so sorry. You feel very bad. You thought you could receive some answer from tarot. You're sorry. No, no, for sure. Don't worry. We will answer your question. Like, just hang in there, guys. But I do see something very positive coming through here. Like I said, it's that you're kind of tied to emotionally anyway. So like I said, there's a project or something that's coming to a level of expansion. I feel that's really going to bring about some happiness, some solid happiness. It does seem to be more around the financial front, although I do also see the Page of Cups to me does indicate there's something emotional here as well. So now the Page of Pentacles, like I said, you've got two pages here. So I do feel like something is changing in terms of your heart space as well as your practical life. And I do feel they're probably entwined. So maybe the support starts to come around here once this little bit of money comes through, something like that. But the Page of Pentacles definitely speaks to messages and communication in that. Which does help you to feel like you're back on top again, or builds up some sense of, feeling of self-improvement, because this is the card of self-improvement, educating yourself. It's student apprentice, it's all of that. So it is speaking to more messages coming through in terms of finances or education. more idealistic sort of view of things here as well. Again, it's good news, and I definitely feel like you will have this communication here pretty quick. There is, however, with this card, some unknown element that is not that's showing up here that doesn't quite make complete sense yet to you because it hasn't really revealed itself. So it's almost like something has to move into place here before something else kind of comes to fruition. So there's an unknown element. I would also say keep your finances and those kinds of things quiet at this time. This is not, may already be doing that, but you are getting clear on this. So that message is going to be coming in shortly, if not at the end or in through September, probably just early October. But I do feel like there's an opportunity here that's going to be coming in, and I feel like you're going to hear about it likely sometime in around September, I would say. And as I said, this is still that energy of you're not really willing to act on something because the information's not there yet. So, you're tapping into the unconscious. Again, can't find water, very strongly correlated here, but it definitely speaks to someone being a little bit more aloof, detached, not really, coming forward with a lot of conversation. So I feel like this is you really trying to do some inner work here as well. So again, when we get to the card of the Ace of Swords, this is about again, the other thing too with that High Priestess, everything will reveal in time. And like with the Ace of Swords, you are getting that answer. So if you weren't really sure about something or the potential or something at an early stage in terms of money and in terms of a love situation, it definitely speaks to that coming through very strongly. There's going to be some kind of communication. I would say that it's, like I said, probably sometime in September for most of you, but I definitely feel like it's going to be something that is quite, going to be, something that you're going to be quite happy about, because all the cards are quite cards of happiness, except the relationship card. There is still a little bit around that, but I would still say that this is a really decisive energy. So I feel like if you weren't able to think clearly, this deep dive is really helping get into that space of clearing away some of the ambiguity and the things that you were dealing with. This is mental clarity. So definitely, I feel like you're going to come into some wise decision or something like it's answer or resolve about how to release some of the pressure that you're feeling here, because this is definitely a card of significance. And I want to say the major arcana here is that that energy here of not really knowing exactly what's going to happen. The major arcana is, even though it's a 9 of Cups, it's not a major arcana, but it is a significant card saying you've got something coming in as far as a wish fulfillment. And the other card that was a major arcana is, be hopeful, be optimistic. Something is going to turn in your favor. You just have to hang in a little bit longer. But like I said, that clarity is going to be coming in, and you will see that there is some kind of a win up ahead here for you. So again, there was other cards that sort of fell out that were dealing with things around legalities and around court cards, that kind of thing. And I just want to say those all actually, even though I did put them back into the deck, that meant for some of you here as well. But the Six of Wands, for sure, there's a victory here. You are getting something that you wanted. It definitely speaks to harmony, and you're closer to that goal than you think you are. So Six of Wands is whatever you need to move you forward, it's happening. So by September, I feel you'll have that answer and it'll be moved forward. And here's the card of moving forward with the Knight of Cups. So, and if there's something here about a cherished dream or something that you really wanted, that's coming through. So, because this is you rising to the challenge. And of course, with the Knights, I mean, this is dealing with somebody 20s to 30s here as well. But there's something here that speaks to, whatever you were waiting for is now putting you in a bit of limelight, and it is, moving in the right direction for you. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, this could be stocks rising in value. There is something here, even in terms of knowledge and, that kind of thing, student apprentice. There's just something here that encourages you to realize that you're in better shape than you thought you were. Now, the other cards are more specific to relationships. So I'm seeing, and hi there, Samana. So it looks like I said there is some issue here that's in around a relationship that's been in some conflict. or there's been some difficulty in around that. So I just want to say that Three of Swords is a minor arcana, so it's not a big tower. It's something that's going to pass. It's nothing that's going to impact you in any significant way. So just know that, you're moving the right direction here when you get, because all the other cards speak to that. There is definitely some communication issues. There's definitely some conflict. Could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It's air sign energy here as well that you're dealing with. That could be something that's caused conflict with a long-term situation. There is something here governmental. There's organizations that conflict, or again, dealing with the justice system as well. This can also represent as lawyer energy here. But there's something here with that energy that speaks to it affecting the relationship or your home front or your foundation as well. So again, there's something to kind of be wary of. Like I said, in terms of the relationship, I still feel like there's something there that you can kind of turn things around with, but you just may not be seeing it at this point. So just hang in there basically. And again, try to do things with a little romantic flair. Flair is more important here, it seems to be, with this particular group of cards. So, sorry guys, one sec here. So I wanted to just quickly go back to, because again, we had two pentacles, or two pages that came in here. And again, we had the Page of Cups and the Pentacles. So I'm just going to throw that one back up here as well again, just to kind of add to this a little bit. So the Page of Pentacles, like I said, because I see two pages, that does mean that there's a little more attention on those cards. So again, I feel like in terms of people, and it does feel like you could be dealing with a younger person here as well, but it's something here about the material front, the home front, the stability is very strongly correlated with these cards. So it's almost like there is a message of keep the finances simple at this time. But again, of the romantic aspect, it's almost like that's where you need to put a little more flair into the situation, because there is a conflict there. There is definitely something here, even in around the home, being held secretive, something that's not being talked about. And that, I don't know if that's energy coming from you. Sorry, guys. But there's some element of a secret here that is represented. So again, these ones are the minor arcana. The major arcana are all the ones that speak to, really amazing things coming in for you up ahead, and wish fulfillment in the period of August to September. And the communication will likely come through in August, and by September you should have everything, in place to receive. There might be like a small token of it coming through first with that Page of Pentacles, but something will come in here regardless. Again, a message I'm getting here with that saying keep to yourself a little bit, because it's more than once. Keep to yourself. There's very private thoughts here. There's a little bit of secrecy around an element that you're not, that you shouldn't be sharing, because that Seven of Swords energy still speaks to not revealing too much. And like I said, I feel like you just need to kind of keep quiet about some element here. But in terms of a relationship, I feel like that's something that, you can talk about it, but I think you still need to address it with a little bit more of an eccentric kind of, show empathy. Still think you need to kind of deal with that one in a little bit more of a, like I said, I don't want to say romantic way, because if it's a friendship or something that you need to kind of heal, it would be just deal with that, do something radically unusual, something they wouldn't expect, because it's going to help to break the tension up. And maybe that's a comedy club. Maybe that's, going out somewhere that, they weren't expecting. But either way, it's something along that line that you need to kind of really look at this. So again, either way, even when we had that Ace of Swords energy in there, there is going to be some kind of communication here. You're kind of examining the energies of change. You're examining your thoughts and this kind of thing, because this is, again, dealing with the air sign. But Ace of Swords is, there is going to be, perfect timing here. Take action around something. Yeah, no, absolutely. Libra is the one's for Pisces. But sorry, I was just responding to show empathy. So there's something here, like I said, in terms of a victory, and it's coming out with a lot of victory. So just know that you're going to get some kind of a communication, and maybe and even more communication in terms of a relationship, in terms of your finance. Keep something quiet to yourself here, but I feel like you've got some fresh ideas here that are coming through. And again, that victory, you've got a sharp mind. There's just something about getting a resolved answer to a question or something that you were trying to deeply deal with. But you're going to hear that here. There's been a huge burden, a lot of weight on you with one, so you haven't really been able to, deal with a scenario here as well as, without it having taken a toll on you. But I also feel like you're getting clear on your objectives there, again, with Swords. So now the Nine of Pentacles, of course, is also like it's wish fulfillment. Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, like victory cards all over the place. I feel like you're holding out for something, even though you didn't think it was coming. You're on the doorstep of it. Because again, even with that High Priestess, it's still that energy of things on the positive side. So, there's a lot of inner wisdom here. There's a lot of cards of diving deep, to kind of deal with a situation. And sort of do those hidden undercurrents, right? So this is something here about potentials achieved, money coming. Sorry, sound of the plane. But lots of cards of self-development also here. Hi, Kajinshi. Lots of cards of self-development. And I still feel like this is, spiritual awareness, self-awareness. You're taking the path between the extremes and following your instincts as well. It's just a lot of really good cards of, you will be able to start with more of the give and take in your situation once this money comes through for you. But it is coming. Just again, you're just not hearing about it right away. Some of you might, but for the most part, this is coming through as kind of August. You get the communication on a couple of fronts, and then by September, that's when things really start to move ahead. But again, that Six of Pentacles card does speak to, money's coming in, more of a shared resource, things starting to balance out, and especially too when we had that Three of Swords. I mean, I feel like it was kind of like a separation of, it's just pulling the card, splitting or separation, or feeling like you were, things were coming apart or unraveling in some way. Again, could be around a Libra energy as well, or air sign, but feels like there was conflict or something unraveling, even in terms of a court situation. But it was quarrel, it's disharmony, all of that, and that seems to be resolved here because there is more of a give and take in this scenario opening up. So whatever the conflicts of interest were in the relationship, just know that that verbal disagreement or whatever that distance was, it's resolving. So it will soon be dropped. But again, I feel like it's not because you're just leaving it untouched. I feel like it's because you're actually putting a little time into dealing with the scenario. And again, even with that Six of Pentacles energy, like I said, I mean, it's also that card of, how do I put that? It's also that card of have to give, right? So if you, and it does, we had surrounding cards of triumph, over scenarios, all of that. It does feel like everything is starting to right itself and create more of an equilibrium. And again, with that same energy of you're closer to the goal than you think. So I would just say keep going there, because this is about, having the time to give of yourself, because there's more money, there's more something that's allowing you to, project or something has come through, and so it's allowing you some freedom. This is tokens of affection and an exchange. But again, persevere. You have to push through this because there's a lot of, competitive energy around you, quarrels, inner quarrels as well. And again, it's dealing with somebody from childhood or perhaps a child. And again, it's still dealing with something from the past, either way. But I feel like this is long-term commitment energy that's around you. But I swear they have a plane going out every 5 seconds. Oh my God. But either way, again, this is still around that energy of, you know, with this could be somebody re-entering from the past here as well. It's just something, and again, we also have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius coming through here. There's a lot more energy around, you know, this could be you or another person, but I feel like this is another person, basically. This is still something here kind of speaking to something of the past is resurfacing here, and or like maybe you had to deal with something that was in around finances that was, you know, kind of resurfacing again. But I feel like you're going to space that you need. You're going to have more of the answers that you need to overcome the situation, because the Queen of Wands is somebody who's able to take charge of a situation. Definitely entrepreneurial sort of energy, but again, it's a quieter sort of energy. But the Queen of Wands is, I'm doing things behind the scenes, you know, to sort of make things happen. So it's sort of along that line for me, and I definitely still feel like things are moving in the right direction. Queen of Wands with the and again, you've also got more Libra energy here. So, and advice for life. Hi, we'll be taking questions just as soon as I finish this last couple of cards. But again, there's two queens here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, business type sort of mindset, you or another person. It's kind of thinking about the consequences of things that you do to a certain extent, but these are mature sort of energies. So it's like you're confronting this something within yourself here. But again, energy is picking up here. There might be a little bit of drama around you about something first, though, that kind of puts you in an angry space. But you do have amazing cards. Like I said, you're almost to a 10 with that one. And this is already showing up. Like, there's so many good cards here that speak to things starting to turn for you. So you can expect the unexpected here with that one. And again, that can be in terms of romance as well, news coming through over a situation that was concerning for you. But it definitely speaks to something starting to move ahead in terms of your finances. You won't be in whatever mindset you were in. You won't be in that competitive sort of feeling for very long, because things are starting to expand. Again, Ace of Cups, you have two of kind of everything here. These are sort of clarifiers, though, so it's not the main energies out. So this is up ahead. But the main energies are hopeful. You know, the Sun card, everything is moving in the right direction. It's the overarching energy of everything. And again, this is a new level of emotion, a new level of passion or love or a happy situation. So there's something here about a beginning stage. And again, it's, you know, if it's in terms of a relationship, it's a longer term relationship where things are being invested. And I feel like you are starting to, you know, there's more admiration, more inspiration, more connection. There's more, you know, overall sort of balancing of the connection. But I think if you build this other person up a little bit, I think that will help you as well to figure out what it is. Like, how should I say that? If you build the other person up a little bit to sort of meet where you are, then I think you're going to start to see that you have equal minds, and you can actually address, you know, a situation with more completeness. You know what I mean? Instead of have a burden or onus on you. When we get to the Nine of Wands, again, persevere, push through. You're almost to the end here. This is not something that you have to worry about. It is really just taking a lot of energy out of you to get there. You know, but it's still kind of some small irritations that might be coming up and things getting into your way. Physically, you might not be feeling 100% just yet, but there is still something here that speaks to, you know, you'll get through the uncertainties. Don't give up. Hold your own. Find your courage. Sorry, guys. Even though things might be feeling a little bit overextended at this time, just know that be patient. You have one last obstacle overcome, and then you're sort of home free. That's what I would say there. So it's kind of a test. It's a bit of a battle. It's a test of your faith, your resilience, and all of that stuff. So before I go into questions, I just want to do one more thing here. Advice cards. Okay, these are the Art of War cards. So I'll just go into these ones first. What does Pisces need to know for August and September? What does Pisces need to know for August and September? What does Pisces need to know for August and September? What advice? 3 cards. Four cards, actually. All right, I'm going to read all those because it just felt right. All right, so okay, I'm just going to make sure they're all upright. Hang tight, guys. All right. Sun Tzu said, captured soldiers should be kindly treated and kept. Interesting. Offer an olive branch. Before you go to war over a trivial thing, consider the cost of doing so. Sun Tzu makes it very clear that war, even if successful, is costly. If you keep your temper, it is most likely that they will keep theirs. However, if a fight breaks out, keep your temper anyway. Fighting does not end fighting. Fighting is ending up by making up. Fighting is ended by making up, sorry. Give them an opportunity to stop the fight. And I think that's why you had to sort of, break the tension by doing something unusual to bring them around. So this one, Sun Tzu said, in night fighting, then make much use of signal fires and drums. And in night fighting, make use of signal fires and drums. And in fighting by day, of flags and banners, as a means of influencing the ears and the eyes of your army. Interesting. Communicate appropriately. Always use appropriate communication tools for different people in different environments. Appropriate communication with your spouse, kids, boss, co-workers can deepen your connections to others, build greater trust and respect, and improve teamwork, problem solving, and overall social and emotional health. If words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, then the general is to blame. But if his orders are clear and the soldiers disobey, then it is the fault of their officers. Communicate effectively. Very strong message for you on communication. It is very easy to think that someone understands what you are trying to say just because you do. Interactions in person, on the phone, text, or email ensure that what you are saying is clear, distinct, and understood. Give examples, think carefully about your words, and ask them what they think you have said to avoid errors in communication. Thus it may be known that the leader of armies is the arbiter of people's fate, the man on whom it depends whether the nation shall be in peace or in peril. Learn to tell good advice from bad. Advice is freely given to us every day, all day. How you deal with it is all on you and no one else. The key decisions are yours to make. In order to withstand the ups and downs of life, it is essential that you learn how to tell good advice from bad, in order to find peace instead of peril. Last card out. To fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Only engage in conflict when all other alternatives have been exhausted. Fighting is one way to achieve something, but it is never the best way. In all relationships and all situations, these are the alternatives to conflict, in which there are no real winners. Sun Tzu proposes the use of deterrence, strategy, alliance, negotiation, and even making friends with your enemies. These are examples of supreme excellence in negotiation through life. Okay, taking questions. What do we got? Sorry, just going through some of the comments here, guys. Okay. Hi, Cody. Okay, show empathy. A's thoughts for you today. A's thoughts of you today. A's thoughts of you today? What are A's thoughts for show empathy today? Okay, well, these fell out, and I'm going to still pull the others, but for sure, I would say this person feels like, I don't know if they're on holiday, but they have a rest, relaxation, thinking warm thoughts, really positive things here, and there is going to be some kind of communication here pretty soon. Could be something around money here as well, or some kind of a gift or gesture or something that might be given. One more second here. What are A's thoughts for show empathy? Then there could be distance from you as well with that Four of Swords. What are A's thoughts of show empathy? Oh, geez. I don't know why the devil's here, but that could be kind of very passion-oriented. What is the devil energy? I don't know if you've been fighting. Maybe there was a fight or a battle or something like that where nobody really won, but it turns out okay. Everything looks like it's moving in the... What is the Ten of Cups? What is the Ten of Cups energy here? Yeah, cycle has been completed. It's almost like, again, I don't know. Everything looks to be like favorable. Although, like I said, energy, it does kind of speak to there having been maybe some kind of tension or argument or something like that. I don't know if that's accurate here, but there's something toxicity and some kind of, okay, that's why, yeah, you did fight. So, but like I said, I feel like that cycle's kind of come for a full circle and everything is coming back around. So this person is definitely en route back to you. Cycle over, everything is moving in the right direction. Okay, anybody else? And yeah, it did feel like he was at distance from you. Show empathy for sure with the Four of Swords. And I don't know how to pronounce this name here, but it's Zeoprin or something like that. K-Nichim. You feel very bad. Is there anything good that's going to be coming in for Teoprin? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I can't understand the first letter, but it's E-O-P-R, and it looks like N-N-K-A-Y-N-H-C-K. Is there anything good that's coming in? Is there anything good that's coming in for person? Is there anything good that's positive that's coming in? Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. Why the Nine of Wands, though? Okay, what is the Knight of Swords? It's the Nine of Cups. What was the concern they were going that caused the issue? What was the issue? Why the Chariot? And the Two of Pentacles. Okay, to be honest, everything's looking really good for you. There's a lot of confusion around possibly a connection or relationship. Could be business-oriented as well. But there is something that's coming through that things will sort of work its way. So I'm going to tell you that... Sorry, one sec here. I'm trying to find my order again. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, again with the Nine of Wands, I mean, that really speaks to energy of resistance, for sure. It definitely speaks to there being some barriers up, but you also have to sort of endure the situation. There's something here that kind of speaks to, you know, having to... Maybe somebody broke your heart here or something, but this is something around what you were trying to manage. It's around something that you were trying to make happen that maybe didn't come through fast enough. But I definitely see things kind of going in your favor here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Just got some external noise. Anyway, okay, back to the reading. Slightly distracted. Okay, so what I'm seeing there is, again, there's an old lover or a friend or something like that. It feels like somebody you've known from childhood, or, you know, this is somebody from the past that, like, you've known them a long time, whatever it is for you there. To the fellow that I was talking about a moment ago, this is your read on this one. But I feel like there is something here about... it's almost like you wanted to push ahead with a situation and somehow it didn't turn out. And I don't know if this is business related or if this is a friendship or if this is a relationship. I do see some cards here that speak to kind of two parties going their own way, or somebody's on a holiday, I don't know, but it looks like they're working something out. And there is going to be a new beginning here with that situation, but it feels like initially things didn't really move in the direction that you wanted it to. Again, even with that Nine of Wands, it's still, you know, trying to sort out a dilemma kind of energy. If it's in terms of a romance, and again, if it's in terms of finances, you just didn't feel like you had enough opportunity in a situation to kind of, you know, maybe get there. But I feel like you just need to push forward a little bit longer here, because there's something just around the corner here for you. The Nine of Wands is still that energy of, like I say, persevere. You've got one more little task or one more little thing, opposition or something like that, that you have to persevere through. Don't give up, because this speaks to, again, you know, having to push through on these. So you're going to have to kind of, you're just going to have to push through, period. Like I said, even, I don't know if this is, they've got mixed sort of cards, but it's, again, it's something from childhood. It doesn't have to be a connection. It can be a business thing or something you were trying to make that just didn't feel like it was moving ahead. Or, and again, if it is around a relationship, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like there's something that, something of a wish that you're going to have that's coming through here pretty quick. Because like I said, the manifestation card is out here. Everything that needs to be here is here on the table. Sorry guys, one more second. Because this is really, you know, next to this one, to me, it's quick communication coming in around something that you're trying to manifest, something that you're trying to manifest that is fulfillment, something you're trying to make happen. The Wheel of Fortune is here. You know, everything is going to turn out okay. It's moving in your favor already, even though you're just not feeling like you're trying to capture something, but you're not allowing it to sort of unfold, maybe is what I'm saying. You're there because there's a lot of haste around, you're guarded about something that you want, but the Magician is the transformer. So something is in the process of transforming. Everything is kind of lining up to sort of make it, you know, turn into a reality, is what that really speaks to, because it's immediately coming in with the Knight of Swords. There's communication about it. So whatever you're trying to pursue is pursuing you now, right? It's coming through. So there's definitely something here about, yeah, immediate connection or communication. That skill or whatever it is, if it's business related, that skill is manifesting quicker than you think. Because like I said, your main energy out here is fortune. So I feel like this problem or this difficulty or whatever it is that you were dealing with, this is quickly going to turn around for you. So I would not feel, it's okay to feel the feelings and go through it, but just allow it to go through you on to the next wave of, you know, into the universe, because all the cards that I see here for you are not in any way cards of hold back. This is absolute amazing shift of energy. And again, even with the Wheel of Fortune, the fact that the Wheel of Fortune could be good or bad, but in your case, it's actually good, because the Wheel of Fortune definitely speaks to obtaining wish fulfillment. So like I said, kind of turning point in your life that you're at right now. And if you just hold out a little bit longer, you're going to realize what exactly it is that you were trying to discover, what you wanted to make happen, you know, and this could be a life purpose here is what it's happening. So hang in there. Like I said, you know, you don't want to be in that space of feeling like your timing is off, when just around the corner here, like you're not stuck. You actually have some kind of growth in this situation. So anyway, again, still dealing with something that's in around the past. I do feel like there is a lot of kind of take charge energy with that Chariot. Sometimes it can be kind of an aggressive energy, maybe in some way for some, but Cancer is strongly correlated here also. But in terms of a work situation, everything's right on time and it's going to be moving ahead. In terms of a romance, Maybe somebody wasn't focused on a relationship and the timing felt off and they didn't feel like they were, connected in some way, as maybe they had an overextension of priorities or things to do. There was a lot of wishy-washy energy here, but it is turned around in this coming future. These are all clarifiers, these ones. So just know it's not happening. You get communication in the immediate, but the actual for the situation is still going to be taking place. Somebody's going to be coming forward. There's going to be more give and take in a situation, but definitely offering you options up ahead in this situation. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of help. Okay, let's see. Kushba, did Crash Gulam Jalani school? I don't understand the question. I'm so sorry. School me? Aiga Kaya. Don't really know what that means. I might need a little more. I'm just going to ask a general question. I don't really know what your question is exactly, but I'm going to say, is it Gulam? Is Kushba's crush Gulam thinking of her? Oh, yeah, for sure. Repeat your question, advice for life. Sorry, otherwise I got to go back through questions. But for Kushbu, what are Gulam's thoughts of her? Okay, it looks good. Oh, wait a second. Is the devil energy? Why the Knight of Wands? Okay, disappointment in love. What's the devil card? What is the Ace of Pentacles? Okay, I don't know that I see the incredibly positive light for you in regards to Gulam. Just because it looks to me as though there's some lying and deception still going on here. So even if the person does come through with a bit of an offer, it's not heartfelt exact, more of a token of affection, like, hey, let's go out, let's do something. But again, there's some lies that I would still be a little distrusting of this person entirely. I feel like there's a disappointment in love. I feel like this person is kind of in and out of your life, not really stable to, not stick around. I think he would be a little hard read kind of a person. 20s to 30s also comes in here as well. And like I said, I just feel like, even though there's like some still effort being made on some level, I wouldn't fully trust this person because of the devil energy coming out and that Seven of Swords. There's almost like there's some secrets maybe in around money that or something. I don't see like third party or anything like that, but there is some secrets of some sort that are being from you, and it just feels like it's in around money. I don't know. And even with the devil energy, maybe this person's really aggressive or has like strong energy of dominance, needs to be, first, that kind of thing. But I feel strong aggression, toxicity there for sure. And again, I don't feel like they are someone that sticks around for very long. Like I said, it's like they're in and out, really hard to, they're really inconsistent. That's what I feel is going on there with Gulam. I feel like you're going to have to wait this out a bit because there's something that's toxic in the way here. Toxic drive, toxic energy, could be too aggressive, angry kind of person, something like that. But like I said, there's just something here that's quite right. Okay, what else we have here? Yes, advice for life. Repost your question because I couldn't see it. It didn't come through. Oh, your question is, you're overwhelmed with everything that happened last year and it ended everything in your life. Will advice for life get justice? Is there anything good that's going to come out of that for advice for life? All of that stuff that happened, they were so overwhelmed. Is anything good coming in for advice for life? Is there anything good coming in for advice for life? Yes, there is for sure. What is the Four of Pentacles? Oh my gosh, yes. What is the Queen of Wands? What is the Ace of Cups? Oh my God, yes. Wow, advice for life. You have an incredible, yeah, there's something for sure, definitely coming through for you. I definitely feel like you are getting your heart's content. There is something that is moving in your favor. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius figures prominent here as well. There is money that seems to be kind of held on to, or you're holding back. There's restrictive energy around emotions for sure. I don't feel like there's a lot of, I don't feel like there's a lot of, like, you don't want to maybe, open up emotionally, but I feel like you will be. Because the Four of Pentacles, like I said, in terms of finances, I'm going to hit it on all levels here for you, because it seems like it is hitting all levels. So the Four of Pentacles, like I said, is, you're feeling guarded for sure in some way, like you have to hang on to every penny, like nothing is really kind of, you have an inability to let go of something here as well. Sorry, I was just reading Daniel Vance also. And hello. But yeah, but I feel like you have an inability to let go of something here for sure. And it definitely feels like you had some issues around, financial clinging to, but also just be aware, by clinging too much to that feeling of disaster, it can draw more disaster. But I feel that's not really the case for you right now. I feel like you're going to be able to open up here. I think you're afraid of repeating some old pattern or something like that, but definitely feel like, you, whatever you're clinging to, this fear of abandonment or codependency or whatever it was, I just feel like everything is going to start turning around. And I definitely feel like it's a love, huge, something huge around love and success, and a gift coming in for you, that's really going to change things around. Hi, smart boy. So, like I said, Pentacles to the Nine of Cups, this is further out. Where you are right now is feeling closed off energy, and this could be in around an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or somebody who's really dramatic, dynamic, and has a lot of attention, that draws a lot of attention. But it definitely feels like, everything is turning around. So I don't know. I'm not seeing it as cards of somebody coming back or whatever. It feels like if you're still in this situation or still in communication with this person, it's almost like things are moving to another level. And I definitely feel like, maybe there is some feeling that this person could be strongly driven, or somebody's really strongly driven in terms of career, and really wants success and happiness, like at all, and I'm not gonna say at all costs, but I mean, definitely happiness. And I do feel like that's exactly what you're going to be getting here. That's just up ahead. So what I see again with that it goes from a 9, by the way, to a 10 of Cups, but it's not right in the immediate energy. The immediate energy is that you're going to have kind of gesture or communication or something here very shortly that is going to open everything up for you. So it's like one thing affects the other two things. So with this one here, like I said, the Nine of Cups is what follows from this closed off feeling, finances, everything not being clear, or not being, safe. It's sort of that feeling of, I've got to protect myself, and protect my heart. But what the Nine of Cups is, everything opening up to you. Like, this is pleasure, this is fulfillment, this is, everything opening up. It's one card of succession to the other. It's like the abundance, the satisfaction, the contentment, the coming true. Your problems are really going to fall behind you here now. You're moving into a whole new cycle. And I feel like it's your discipline that's really, kind of it's going to be paying off, is really what's happened here. Because you're seeking emotional satisfaction in a big way, and that's what I see coming through here. So I feel like you can expect some unexpected good fortune or something to fall into your lap here with that Ace of Cups. And it definitely speaks to, like I said, an opportunity of something, even in terms of a career. But there's an opportunity. You might even have more than, you may have two choices or two directions, or a decision that, because it falls two ways. So this person could try to make a decision here about you. And so, because of that, it may be leaving you in a lingering space. Or again, it can also be in terms of a career, you have a decision to make, and it's like two directions that you can move. But either way, it's a love space. It's an overly abundant, happy space. And it definitely feels like long-term engagement and connection with whatever this is. You were just at the precipice of something. So just know that whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because something is going to turn around in an incredibly favorable light. Trust your luck. Okay, what else do we have? Smart boy. Your partner in love with, sorry, trying to read, please help me and my partner in love. You're very welcome, advice for life. Smart boy, please help me and my partner in love. I am Nilish and she's Lydia. Okay, I'm not sure what you're asking exactly, but I will ask what's happening as far as Lydia and Nilish. What's happening with Lydia and Nilish? What's happening with Lydia and Nilish? What's happening with Nydia and, sorry, with Nilish and Lydia? Oh my gosh, what is this going on today? That just sort of jumped out. And this one, obviously, oh my gosh, well, that's looking good. Smart boy. Yeah, what is Nine of Cups? And what is the Abundance card? Yeah, I would love life. Everything is going well, or it will be, because what I'm seeing here is Nine of Cups is you're getting what you want from this person. Could be however, the fact is it is clarified with the Knight of Pentacles. So it's almost like all the ducks have to be lined up in a row before something kind of transpires. So it's slow moving. There is a bit of a wait with this situation. You're going to have to just wait it out, but it's well worth the wait, because what you have is ultimate happiness, abundance with this person. But again, there's some factors here that need to be resolved here, as far as somebody likes to take their time. They're not, sorry guys. Just waiting for it to pass. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, somebody likes to take their time. They're, methodical. They don't jump into anything. They like to make sure that they, the financial goals, they structure things out. They structure things, and it's something here about, finances are quite important to this person or you. And it just feels like this is building long security. So somebody really wants long-term security. They really want happiness. They want a steady income. They want, their focus is on nurturing these things at this time. So again, you or this other person, but it definitely feels like it's just going to take some time to build. Like this is something that's happening overnight. This is a slow build. And not only that, with that Three of Wands energy, it's still things kind of moving to the next level, but it's also in that time of, or in that phase of, we need to wait this out a little bit, because there's things that this person wants to kind of work through first before jumping in. So like there's some planning going on here. They're trying to create some kind of structure here, and they want, they're looking forward to, things optimistically. Sorry, guys. They're looking forward to things optimistically, but it definitely feels like it's a supportive kind of energy. I just feel like there's a lot of good things that are coming in there. In terms of romance, I feel like there's a strong ship here as well, I would say, or that will be developing. I feel like there's a lot of similarities as far as how you connect with this person, of the same values or same belief systems, something along that line. So yeah, but either way, I definitely feel like that's going in the right direction. I won't go on too much longer here, guys. What do we got? Samana. Okay, can I find a new job? Samana. Will you be finding a new job? Will Samana be finding a new job? Will Samana be finding a job? Will Samana be finding a new job soon? Will Samana be finding a new job soon? Actually, let's take that one. Okay, what is the Page of Swords? And the Hermit. Outcome. Okay, I don't feel like it's ready yet in terms of a job yet. There's some kind of unknown factor. Why is the Disappointment card here? Give me one sec here. There's something that's not fully there's something hidden. There's something hidden with this situation for you, Samana. I don't know what it is, but there's something hidden. And I do feel like there's a level of disappointment for sure. And there was kind of like some sly strategizing that you're going to have to start doing here to kind of, see that you're pursuing something with that page. You're trying to research things, you're trying to get yourself out there, or at least that's and it's almost like, I don't know what this actor is, but there's something that's not quite lined up yet for that to happen. The Page of Swords does still indicate there's energy around strategizing still, and you do have something that you need to kind of keep quiet about as well, because we've got the Hierophant, even though that's the clarifier, but it's also right next to the Seven of Swords, and it's around cards of the moon. This is stuff to me that you better keep whatever it is that you're doing or things quiet for now. There's something that I'm just not feeling quite right about yet with that. And I'm not really sure why. I don't know if somebody's trying to sabotage you a little bit here or what, but it just feels like somebody could be spying on you and kind of sabotaging a scenario or something like that. But it just feels like things aren't what they seem right now. I do feel like there, with the Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here as well, Virgo also relevant. I feel like, there's a lot of clever things that you're trying to do to implement, and get kind of money possibly getting in here. But again, there's something secretive about this situation. So I would just be quiet for the moment about whatever it is that you want to do, because it's going to require a lot of clear thinking, and I don't feel that you have clear yet. There's something here that's interfering with that. There's a deceptive quality. There's a sense of curiosity, but again, there's something about I don't know what this element is that's being hidden, but there's something here that's not quite right. Not quite right. Like I said, in terms of work, I feel like this could be somebody who's got, a considerable amount of knowledge in a certain area, because I do see that coupled with the Hermit card. So for sure, I feel like you have the ability to do something by yourself, if that is any help here. But I just feel like keep quiet about it, because there's something that's not fully revealed here yet. And I feel like you have to keep digging to get more information, especially with that moon. It's almost like you're maybe emotionally, there's something here that you're doing that holds yourself back here as well. Maybe it's a lack of, maybe it's a bit of depression, and it could be Cancer water sign also prevalent here. But there's something here around, you've got a lot of intuitive skills here that you can trust yourself to choose the right direction. And I feel like you're quite scholarly. Like there's something here about, you have a lot of knowledge, but I just feel like right now there's a deceptive quality here and something's not quite known. It's not telling me that you're getting a job just yet. Yeah, just feels like there's something here that's not quite clear for me to, to be sure of. It's like you might need to get a little bit more information, and maybe that's like, because it's either you have a lot of information or you're seeking a lot of information to kind of build something up. But again, that moon energy and all the other cards as the clarifiers below still speak to me as a lot of fears, or there's still a lot going on about you don't have a lot of answers to be able to sort of shape things, to move things ahead. So I feel like, you will get some clarity up ahead because you're already doing the deep dive with the Hermit energy, and you're trying to implement some kind of a strategy here as well. But I would just stay a little low key for now, because there's something that you need to work through kind of on the emotional side of things before you can kind of, like I say, move ahead here. So there's something that's still hidden, something that's holding you back, something that's unclear. And because of that, I feel like that is going to cause a little bit of delay before you get an answer. So I don't feel anything immediately is coming in here, but you kind of have to work through some level of disappointment first. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a clue. But there is something up ahead, because that Hierophant card, I don't know what that is, but there's some element. There's something unknown yet that could show itself soon. Okay, what else do we have there? And you're welcome, smart boy. Sorry, Samana. I don't know if that was, you know, a little on the negative side, but just feels like something has gotten in the way. Again, air is like, I find with tarot, I mean, it's energy that is fluid, right? So you can change your patterns, you can change your thought about something, but you're still collecting information. So that's all I would say. You're still collecting information. It's not to say it won't come in the next week or two, but right now, just because that's the energy that we're in, that's the information that came out. So doesn't mean you can't change anything. You can always, we always make different decisions different days, and by virtue of a decision, we change the energy around us. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now, guys, because I have places to go, things to do. So anyway, hope that gave you a little bit of insight. Keep moving forward, guys. Never give up, and we'll see you in the next read.